Good morning, everybody. Glad to have you here today. Hope you've had a good week and got a good weekend planned, including being in God's house. If you don't have a church family, church home, I'd love to have you come meet with us at Poplar Grove Baptist. We'll be meeting tomorrow at 10 a.m. in our Family Life building, located at 3476 Poplar Tent Road. In the meantime, if you'd like, share and or comment on this post, that would be very much appreciated. And then we'll jump into verse 5 of chapter 17 in the book of Acts. The Bible says there, but the Jews were jealous, and taking some wicked men of the rabble, they formed a mob, set the city in an uproar, and attacked the house of Jason, seeking to bring them out to the crowd. I want to show you in this verse something that is very good for us to know today. We see the way that the world reacts to the gospel. There's at least, I think you could pull out three different groups here, three different reactions to the gospel. We see, first of all, the Jews, the religious people of the crowd. And the world still, it may not be Jews, but of whatever religion, the world still has a lot of religious people in it. We still do have a lot of religious people. And then there's a difference in religious people and followers of Christ. And here we have the word that it says about these religious people. They were jealous. The word simply means, again, envy. A lot of people were turning and beginning to follow Christ, and so they were following and proclaiming the message of Christ, and they were jealous, plain and simple. And somebody else is getting attention, somebody else is getting recognition. Most likely, if you really want to get down to the nuts and bolts of it, the real issue was it was probably taken from their offering plate. And so they were jealous of it. And today we still have a lot of religious people who get disturbed when people genuinely begin to follow Christ. Even inside the church, when people genuinely get on fire for the Lord, begin to follow Christ, religious people a lot of times would get upset because they, just like these Jews, they see maybe they're going to lose some of their influence, some of their power inside of the church, and they get upset. And so that we see that these guys were jealous, and so they go and they turn to a second group, the wicked men of the rabble, it says. King James Version uses an interesting set of words. It says certain lewd fellows of the baser sort. Certain lewd fellows of the baser sort. These are people who are just always looking for something to get into. Just kind of always looking to stir up trouble. They like to be in trouble. They like to stir up trouble. And obviously we still face that today. And there's some people, again, even inside the church, who seem to, they'd rather stir up trouble than to live in peace. Again, many of those get riled up when people begin, when the gospel begins to be proclaimed, when people come to know Christ, and it just goes against the way they have always done it. Then it says they formed a mob. This is the rest of them. This is everybody else. Just the average, ordinary person. And what's really scary to me is not so much the religious people, or even those that are the wicked men. Wicked men are wicked. That's what they do. We're used to that. But here we see they formed a mob. They went out and got just ordinary Joe off the street and drug him in to the argument, drug him in to the fight. They were being influenced by by this mob, by these wicked men. Again, if you look at it, it goes back to the religious people who were jealous, who then stirred up the wicked men, who then stirred up the general population. And, sadly, that's the way we see a lot of trouble begin today. It actually begins with again, and I'm not talking about Christians and Christ followers, disciples of Christ, I'm talking about religious people. Religious people, they get into stuff, they drag along some people who are just looking for trouble to begin with. And then the ordinary Joe off the street doesn't know any better. He just goes along with it. And that's three groups we need to be aware of today. Still, as we seek to proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ, as we seek to lead people to Christ, be disciples of Christ, make disciples of Christ. Again, the religious people that are just religious, they're gonna get upset about that. And they're going to stir up everybody else. And it's been that way, obviously, since Acts chapter 17, since that time, and I think it's still that way. There's still a group of people out there that they're going to make trouble. And so you and I, those who are trying to follow Christ, we have to be on guard. We have to be aware of them, be prepared for it, and again, do everything we can to continue to serve God. Again, we notice in this passage we see as we move through the remainder of this story, even though the religious and the wicked and the crowd were stirred up and angry, the disciples didn't stop preaching the gospel. We can't let a group who may be opposed to us stop us from proclaiming the good news of Jesus Christ. You think about that today. Don't let anybody hinder your walk with the Lord, stop you from serving Him and sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ. Have a good weekend. We'll see you here Monday morning.